All right, back in the saddle. So somewhere here is the start of the siding here at James. I don't quite know. I thought it was further up, but you can see how the grade kind of widens out here. So again, this could be it. You can see there's a telegraph pole there. I don't know. Again, I don't know if this was part of the original grade, or if it maybe was widened out when they afterwards. So after the railway abandoned this line, the right-of-way was bought up by a logging company and basically used up until, I think they owned it up until 2018 or so, 2019, and then it was bought by Wagner. And so obviously that's why it's all sort of flattened out, and there's gravel on top, and you know, some of the structures were maintained and things like that because they were using it to haul logs, right? You can see all of these logging roads that branch off here, there, and everywhere. All right, there's one going this way, and then there's one going this way. This one's washed out. You can see the big pile of crushed rock there, and I don't know if that's meant to go in here where it's been washed out. I'm not sure. So you can see more telegraph poles accompanying us. I do hope Mike is watching these videos. Mike is one of my very loyal followers, and he loves seeing the telegraph poles and the insulators, and especially the ones that are still standing, because it's not a very common thing. On the other line, the Kinghorn that runs east out of Thunder Bay to Long Lac, very few poles still standing. Maybe 20-30 on the whole line. Here obviously there's lots, and so here you can really start seeing how things widen out. You can see where the poles are, so indicating that the siding is here for James. I drove an excavator through here, and sometimes you get caught in the ruts there, and it's like shaking the trailer what Luna's in. All right, so we've arrived at the location of the next station here on the line. So this is James. So as I mentioned, Grand Trunk Pacific used an alphabetical naming pattern for their stations. There was a bit of an interruption here because basically going back to the east, there was Griff, Horn, and then the next station originally was Dexter, then became Raith. That doesn't fit the pattern. And then Linco doesn't fit the pattern. And then they jumped to J. So this is the J station. The next station in line is Kelly. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we've already kind of looked around here when we pulled through here in the morning, so I'll kind of give you a little tour of what you can see. So let's have a look here around the site of James Station, and take a quick look around, and then we'll talk a little bit about what was here. So this appears to be the well for the state. Ooh. Okay, let's better step off of that. That's a little wobbly. That's a big chunk of concrete too, and it's just wobbling. Here, train on the Canadian Pacific, Kansas City. So let's see what else is around here. I was here last summer. Now the problem was the grass was really high. I couldn't see anything, so it was very difficult to kind of walk around. So got something here, not sure what. Got some really big timbers here. You got this depression. Could this have been some sort of cellar or something? Not sure what the heck this was. So just a couple other things as we explore this depression here with the piles in there. A couple of other things. So what appears to be a piece of brick, and you can see yet another big sort of pile, another timber here. There's some, they look like ties here, but you can really see there's kind of a big sort of a depression here, right in here, right in this area here, which would probably correspond with the station. And you can see kind of this part's a little bit elevated here. Some cable here, probably from a pole. Looks like the cable they used to hold up the telegraph pole. There's a big ditch here. I don't know if there was anything on the other side. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about James. Get my notes out here. It's been a crazy morning here. You can see the dark clouds have finally passed, and you can see the sun is out. It's still not particularly warm. All right. So, as you're going to see by the geography, you can kind of see it here. You're going to see a little bit more as we kind of move our way along. Very low kind of lying area here. James located at milepost 67.8 on the original line, 38.8 on the Graham sub. Original station had a Grand Trunk Pacific Type E station built. Now, what's interesting is that sources are conflicted. So there's a book that I have that's all about sort of Western Canadian CN stations. Pretty sure that says 1910, but the documentation that I have from Library and Archives Canada that comes right from CN and basically has information from Grand Trunk Pacific, it says 1911. Apparently the station was decommissioned in June 1960 and sold off apparently in 1961. So didn't last particularly long. A lot of the stations were all shut down in that early 1960s period. So James and the siding that was here, and as I mentioned, the siding's on the other side of the right of way here. So James remained a station on the line, and the siding as well, until the line was abandoned in 1994. So what we're going to do right now is I'll show you some maps, as well as I'll show you the document that basically shows you the construction of James in 1911, the station here, and then we'll show you some timetables and things with James on it. All right, before we run away, I was out yesterday hiking at Raith, and I forgot this. In terms of population, so we can actually look at the census records. Okay, so the Census of Canada records are usually, they usually release them after 90 years. And so we have 1911, 1921, 1931, right? Because remember, this line was opened in 1908. So in 1911, there were 10 people here at James or in the area. In 1921 there were 4 people. In 1931 there were 13 people. Okay, so let's hop back on the bike, and then we'll continue making our way to the west. All right, ooh, little froggy jumping across the grade there, or toad frog, whatever they are. Not a biologist. Okay, so you can see telegraph pole here. Here you can see there's a culvert. I'm guessing the reason why they had this excavator in here is that they've been trying to clean up some of the culverts and things like that, so the beaver doesn't basically flood the grade or wash the grade out. So here, so the siding was on this side here. Again, as we described, station on this side. May have been a section house as well. I know the map that I have only shows the station. Oh, it's warm now. It says it's 18. It feels a hell of a lot warmer than that. The wind's at my back too, which doesn't help. Just kind of looking what's going on here. If there is anything there. All right. So again, this siding was in use right up until the end. You can see kind of the state that the grade is in here. So again, kind of going through this low area, you're going to see up ahead, you're actually going to see one spot where it's actually the grade's kind of partially flooded. Not partially, there's some puddles along the sides, but the water is literally right up to the edge of the grade. So the siding's right here. Okay, so almost 27, and we got to go 38 or 39. Got 11 or 12 kilometers to go still. The things I do, as my wife says to me all the time, why can't you have a normal hobby? Well, as I mentioned in the very first segment, this is our longest hike that we'll ever do. Some of the other sections are like 8-9 miles. This is the longest one at over 11. Little symphony here for us. It's that time of the year. Fun in the swamp. So here basically is where the I think here is where the siding comes in, and so the siding here at James comes to an end. So one of the things that I've been trying to do to prepare for the fact that I've been going to do the hikes are a lot longer, is I've been trying to do more biking. I walk every day with the dog, and then I've been trying to 3-4 times a week, been trying to bike. And then now, so this week, obviously, because we were going to be hiking, I biked a couple of times, and then we were out yesterday and then today, and then I'll probably do a couple of times the coming week, or this week. This is Sunday. A little bit of a cut we're going through here, so I'll try to I'll do a couple of days, and then we're going to be out next weekend again. I've got 2 hikes. We're going to do the next section here, so passing Kelly and Larson. And then I want to do the next section after that, passing Mac going towards George. So been doing that, and I'm gonna have to keep busy all summer, do lots of biking this summer, because I've got quite a number planned for the fall time. And again, those aren't as long as this one, but still, if I need a TV, you want to keep yourself in shape. I haven't been skipping leg day at the gym, so I'm trying to keep myself in best shape as I can. So another shot of telegraph poles here. Yeah, my altimeter on my GPS keeps going out of whack here. I just calibrated it at James, and now it's telling me it's 20 above where it should be. So again, this says 1539, and the GPS says, well, it did say 1559. Now it's going up again. Oh, it's hot. So you got a nice stretch of poles here. There's one on the ground. Every once in a while you get that nice breeze, but it's still very, very warm. Hopefully the dog's not dying. At least she doesn't have to walk. Oh, crap. Missed the pole again. There we go. So there's another one of these signs. Should really pay attention to my markers here. I think this one's really hard to read. I think that says 30, but looking at it, I don't know. Let's zoom in here. I kind of want to say it says 50. I don't know, it's really, really hard to see. Who knows how old this sign is? That might be 50. That first number looks like a 5. I don't know. In any case, kind of a neat little find. Okay, we'll zoom you ahead a bit here, and then we'll have to we'll hold up, take a look at the battery, and keep moving along. Oh, look at that. Now this one's going to be hard to see because it's hiding. Yeah. So this one says 60 car. So that definitely was 50 car. Let's see if I can zoom in for you here. So you can definitely make out the 60. This one's actually a pretty good, this one's in pretty good shape. You can see that 6 really, really well pronounced. Okay, so maybe this is a good spot to pause, and I can catch my breath here, and then we will resume our westward journey.